Hello friends, today we're going to be doing a review for the AK-12 assault rifle for the assault class. And as is normal, we will be going over a loadout first. For the optic, we're using the Coyote red dot sight. You know why. Accessory, green laser sight, cause it's pretty. And for the barrel, we're using the muzzle brake because I like reducing that vertical climb. And for the underbarrel, I actually originally was using the angled grip because it gave me a little bit of a tighter grouping. However, I decided to go with the ergo grip. It doesn't take away very much from your grouping, and it does give you a little bit more of an edge on hip fire, which gives you a nice little edge on those closer range engagements that I think is essential for this weapon to be all around effective. Okay, so once you're using this weapon, something that's very important for you to do is as soon as you're into the server, you want to get off of automatic fire and switch to burst fire with this weapon. And there's a couple really important reasons for this, not the least of which being you gain 100 rounds per minute rate of fire increase over the automatic rate of fire. The other big reason, if you go into the test range and you go up to one of those walls and just hold down the trigger in automatic fire, and you see as it gets up the spread starts to really increase dramatically. But if you're in burst fire and you just tap really as fast as you can, you're going to notice you get a much tighter spread than what you do with automatic fire, and it's even putting the bullets out even quicker. So that's kind of a no-brainer to me. Yes, burst fire weapons do require a little bit more skill, I would say, to use than your fully automatic weapons, but once learned, the advantage is pretty tremendous with this weapon over automatic fire. You have the higher rate of fire, and you're getting tighter groupings. So there's really no good reason in my mind to leave it on automatic unless you literally just cannot remember to let your hand off the trigger to initiate another burst of the weapon. And on a note of full disclosure, I have in fact done that with burst fire weapons where I forgot to continue pressing the trigger because I thought bullets were just going to keep coming and have gotten myself killed, and it's been horribly embarrassing. So keep that in mind. Okay, so talking about the actual shooting of this weapon now, uh, nice consistent burst. You can get away with 2 to 3 bursts about as fast as you can click, and it's going to be pretty accurate, and you should be getting enough bullets on target provided the game doesn't just do stupid things like it does, and then you will get the kill. But like I said, the game sometimes does really, really stupid things. But moving on from that, the hip fire I actually think is pretty solid with this vertical grip. The gun operates very similar to the M16A4, slightly slower rate of fire, but similar performance at medium and longer ranges. I don't know, I just had a pretty good feel with it, maybe even a little bit better. It might just be my own crazy tendencies here. Also, the hip fire, I'm actually going to go ahead and say that I think the hip fire is better with this weapon than it was with the M16A4. Again, I could be crazy. Sometimes things are just hard to tell in this game of complete randomness. And on the note of randomness, let's talk about where you really belong in the pack. Should you be front of the pack, middle of the pack, or back of the pack? And I'm going to say you're actually pretty well suited for all three roles with this weapon. You're probably going to be best suited helping your team out front to middle of the pack with this weapon because of the high level of accuracy and a decent rate of fire and a nice complement of hip fire that gets the job done. So you want to be front of the pack. Engage your targets at a little bit of a distance. That's going to give you an edge over what they're probably using, unless they're using, well, this or an M16A4 or something of that nature. But a lot of the faster firing weapons just don't have the accuracy or range that you're going to get with something like this. And so that does give you a bit of an edge. As always, be wary of snipers. You see scope glint, you maybe should not stare at them too much because you're likely to get shot in the face. That's always embarrassing. However, it is deeply satisfying to shoot dirty snipers in the face, especially at long ranges. Just makes me feel good inside. If you do happen to come across a corner onto a target, just spam that trigger, baby. Spam it. And don't forget, just about every time you actually leave the game or come back in, you are going to have to reset your weapon to burst fire. I have forgotten this and gone in there and tried shooting as though it was burst fire with automatic fire and found myself scratching my head. Why am I not putting out very many bullets? Well, it's because it's not on burst fire. It's because it's an automatic fire. It's one of those features of the game that was kind of there in BF3 after a while, and lo and behold, they did not start with it in BF4. Also, in the minimap, you have to press the zoom button every time you go into the server. It doesn't save over into the next one. Another minor annoyance, not any major issue. You just have to remember to do it. Alright guys, that's pretty much all I have for you on this weapon. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Know Your Weapon, and God bless. Go shoot some people in the face. GG.
Hey guy, can you like